What is up, guys? It is Flipman Dan, and today we are going over my top 5 flips from 2020. All right, guys, before we get into it on my top 5 flips from last year, first, please like and subscribe for great content about garage sailing, flipping, and just making an uncommon profit in a number of ways. So now that we got that over with, let's start with number 5. I started out the channel with one of my first times going out garage sailing, and I found this one flip with this one lady, and let's cue the tape here. She was quite the negotiator. Got something going on. So you got some pots. How much you want the skateboard for? I'll make you an offer, but on these 3 things. Okay. But you might not like it. I'd give you, would you do 30 for all 3? No?
His skateboard alone costs $250. I would do 50.
50. 45?
I'll just hold off.
Oh, this says parsley on it? Basil, that's cool. I'm a gardener myself. Would you do all this stuff and then that little pot for 50?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. As you can see, she really did not want me to walk away with what I was asking for, which was kind of a bargain basement price for a skateboard, a computer chair, a pot, and an umbrella holder. Now, I eventually walked away from this deal spending 50 bucks, and as soon as I got home, I cleaned up the chair, flipped the chair immediately for 100 bucks. The skateboard was very soon after at 80 bucks. And then the umbrella holder and the pot eventually sold and brought my total sales number to $205. That is a sick flip from 50 bucks, and I did it all in a couple days, which was great. All right, guys, number 4. Now, this one wasn't a gigantic dollar amount, but the profit numbers were huge on this one. So I went to a garage sale and saw a rug, an area rug that was rather large and took up a lot of space, actually. It was pretty big. And the current owner wanted nothing to do with it. He pretty much was just like, get it out of my sight, because he was trying to give it away for essentially free. So I gave him 5 bucks for it. And it luckily still had the tags on it. And although it was used, and lo and behold, a couple of days later, the rug sold for 85 bucks, a huge profit margin of 80 bucks, and I only invested 5 bucks. Number 3 of my top flips from 2020, this one you'll remember has a little bit to do with my prior obsession and kind of current obsession with patio tables. So now I have 2 patio sets, and I can't get rid of either one. Now, these things are a huge dollar amount for me, and if you have the ability to haul them and sell them, and they're popular in your area, like they are here in Phoenix, I would highly recommend selling them. So at this point, I was a little bit weary because I had already had about 3 other patio tables currently in my inventory. I was not going out to look for these things, and I was struggling with selling them at that point. But lo and behold, the first garage sale that I went to that day, there was a beautiful patio set, and I could not believe my eyes because it was listed for 50 bucks and no one had even looked at it or bought it. And I hopped on that as soon as possible. I just went up there and asked if they would take 40 for it. They said yes.
No, it's not sold yet.
Would you do 40 on it?
Yeah.
That day, I went home, took pictures, and sold it for 245 bucks. What a flip that was, and it's got my eyes on patio sets anywhere I go now. That was the jackpot. Number 2, coming in at my best flips of 2020, was an acoustic guitar flip that I came upon one fateful Saturday morning. So I woke up extra early, checked my yard sale app, and lo and behold, I saw mention of a bunch of acoustic guitars at this one sale. So I made sure to wake up extra early that day and headed directly to that sale, which was luckily very close to me. So I showed up at this sale. It must have been 6:30 a.m. and the place was buzzing. There were so many people there looking at, it must have been 12 to 15 acoustic guitars, all listed at crazy bottom basement prices. So I went to the lady running the garage sale and I was like, why are you selling these for this crazy amount? And she was like, look, they're not mine, they're my son's. He got into a little bit of legal trouble with the law, probably a DWI or something like that. And he needs to dump these guitars immediately. So I was feasting, baby. I grabbed the first two ones that I saw that I knew were of extra value, because one was a 12-string guitar, a beautiful Fender, and it was a 12-string acoustic, and I didn't have one in my arsenal, so I grabbed that. And then another I knew was a Canadian handmade acoustic guitar company. And both were, again, of great value. Both were listed for, in total, I believe, in the $150, $165 mark. And I was able to negotiate with that person who was in a tough spot trying to raise some money, and I got both for 75 bucks. That's pretty crazy. So 75 bucks, I came home with these two guitars. I listed the Canadian acoustic handmade guitar, and I popped that one for 175 bucks very shortly after. And then I kept the 12-string and I play that thing on the daily. That is one of my favorite guitars. I wasn't gonna sell it, but if I wanted to, I could probably get somewhere in the $400 to $500 range, but that baby ain't going anywhere. I'm keeping it. Drum roll, please. Number one flip from 2020 was a pretty crazy story of me showing up to a garage sale, this time late. It was the last garage sale of the day, definitely for me. I pulled up, and the place had some people walking around looking at things. The owners were currently packing up, so I knew I could use that to my advantage, as they wanted nothing to do with keeping any of these items. So in the middle of the garage sale, I saw a oven and a microwave oven combo. Looked very new, very high quality. It was still wrapped in saran wrap. And I look at the price, and it was 200 bucks for the total of the package. And after a quick Google search, I found that these things were selling new for anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. So I tried not to act surprised and desperate when I talked to this woman, and I said, oh, well, why are you selling this? And she mentioned that her husband was a home builder, and they built this house, and they ended up putting in a different unit. They didn't need the unit anymore, and it was just collecting dust in their garage. Well, I started the negotiations at around $95. She worked me up to $135, and I walked away with two brand new high quality oven and microwave oven combo. And I brought that thing home. I listed it on Offerup and Facebook Marketplace, and which is normally something I only reserve for high dollar items, and this really met the criteria there. So I eventually sold the items about a month later, both of them, on Facebook Marketplace to two different buyers, and I made a grand total of $1,140 on that flip. So from $135 to $1,140, that ain't nothing to scoff at, my friends. So all told, this year I grossed over $10,000, a little bit over $10,000, with my side hustle of garage sailing and yard sailing. Now, if I had more time to put into it, obviously I have a full-time job, but this is a side hustle. If you have a lot of time to put into side hustles, there's plenty of ways to make money. My goals for 2021 are much higher, and I'm trying to make money in a lot of different ways, so stay tuned. I'm gonna be learning from you, the viewers, my fellow YouTubers, as well as putting these things into practice in my life. So once again, thanks for joining. Stay tuned for more great content like this. And once again, I'm Flipman Dan. Peace out.